A courtroom, the heart of justice, where the scales of fairness are meant to balance truth and integrity. For decades, India's judiciary has stood as a pillar of our democracy, a beacon of hope for millions seeking justice. Yet, over the past 10 years, from 2015 to 2025, storm clouds have gathered over this sacred institution. Serious allegations of misconduct, corruption, bribery, sexual harassment, and political bias have cast long shadows over the higher judiciary, shaking the very foundation of public trust. Today, I want to take you through this challenging decade, exploring the nature of these accusations, the high-profile cases that shocked the nation, the responses from those involved, and what this means for the future of judicial independence in India. This is not just a story of scandal, it's a call to protect the soul of our justice system. Let's start with the scope of the problem. Since 2015, allegations of misconduct have emerged against judges in India's high courts and Supreme Court, ranging from corruption and financial impropriety to misuse of authority, ethical breaches, bias, and even sexual harassment. These are not whispers in the shadows, they are public accusations, some raised by judges themselves against their colleagues. What's striking is the lack of real consequences. No judge in India's higher judiciary has ever been removed through impeachment despite the gravity of these claims. Whether it's unexplained cash stashes, accusations of favoritism, or inappropriate personal conduct, these incidents point to a systemic issue that goes beyond isolated missteps. The absence of accountability has allowed these concerns to fester, eroding the public's belief in a fair and impartial judiciary. Now, let's look at some of the cases that have defined this decade of controversy. Take Justice C.S. Karnan of the Calcutta High Court. In 2017, he became the first sitting High Court judge convicted of contempt by the Supreme Court. After making wild, unsubstantiated claims of corruption against 33 fellow judges and defying court orders, a 7-judge bench sentenced him to 6 months in prison, an unprecedented move. This case showed the judiciary's willingness to discipline its own, but it also exposed the chaos of addressing misconduct in public view. Then there's the shocking case of Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi. In 2019, a former Supreme Court staffer accused him of sexual harassment. The court's response? A closed-door, in-house inquiry that cleared Gogoi, prompting the complainant to withdraw, citing unfairness. Protests erupted and the controversy deepened when just months after retiring, Gogoi was nominated to the Rajya Sabha by the government in 2020. To many, this looked like a reward for favorable rulings, shattering perceptions of judicial independence. More recently, in March 2025, a fire at Justice Yashwant Varma's Delhi residence revealed a staggering pile of burnt currency notes, sparking nationwide outrage over possible corruption. The Chief Justice of India ordered a swift inquiry, which, by May 2025, confirmed evidence of unexplained wealth, effectively indicting Varma. The CJI reportedly urged him to resign, and the government prepared for rare impeachment proceedings. This case has reignited debates about judicial accountability and the leniency often shown to judges. Then there's the 2018 attempt to impeach Chief Justice Deepak Misra, accused of misuse of authority and bias in case assignments. Though the motion failed, it marked a low point in executive-judicial relations. Even retired judges haven't escaped scrutiny. Cases like Justice A.K. Ganguly and Justice Swatantra Kumar, accused of sexual harassment, or the cash for judgment scandal involving Justice I.M. Kudusi have further tarnished the judiciary's image. How have the judiciary, government, and society responded to these crises? The judiciary's approach has been a mixed bag. In cases like Karnan's, it acted decisively, and the Varma inquiry showed a move toward transparency. But too often, the response has been insular. The Gogoi inquiry, conducted in secrecy, was widely criticized for lacking fairness. The Supreme Court often opts for quiet measures, transfers, or private nudges to resign, avoiding public acknowledgement of wrongdoing. It's even ruled that the anti-corruption Lokpal cannot investigate sitting judges, guarding its independence at the cost of accountability. The government, meanwhile, wields the power of impeachment but faces high hurdles, with political motives often clouding the process. The nomination of ex-CJI Gogoi to the Rajya Sabha raised eyebrows, suggesting a troubling overlap between judiciary and executive. lawyers and bar councils are divided. Some defend the judiciary to protect its reputation, while others demand openness. Civil society and the media have been vocal with protests, investigations, and international observers like the International Commission of Jurists sounding alarms over declining judicial credibility. The impact of these scandals is profound. India's judiciary, once a trusted institution, is losing its shine. Surveys show nearly half of Indians doubt its impartiality. When a chief justice faces harassment allegations or takes a political post after retirement, it breeds cynicism. Internal disputes, like the 2018 press conference where 4 senior Supreme Court judges protested case assignments, only deepen public unease. Current Chief Justice B.R. Gogoi has admitted that misconduct inevitably harms public confidence, cautioning judges about post-retirement choices. Retired Justice Madan Lokur called Gogoi's Rajya Sabha nomination a blow to the judiciary's moral stature. If left unchecked, this erosion could lead to a public that views court verdicts with suspicion, undermining the rule of law itself. So, what's the way forward? The past decade has sparked urgent calls for reform. There's a push to revive a judicial accountability law, like the lapsed 2010-2012 bill, to create a clear process for handling complaints. Some propose an independent judicial oversight commission free from government or judicial control, inspired by models like South Africa's. Others suggest strengthening the in-house inquiry system with clear standards, confidential but recorded processes, and public findings in proven cases. A cooling-off period of 2 to 3 years before retired judges can take government posts is gaining traction to prevent perceptions of favoritism. After the Gogoi controversy, there's also a demand for independent mechanisms to handle sexual harassment complaints against judges, possibly involving retired female judges. Procedural changes like transparent case allocation and cultural shifts like ethics training are also on the table. The challenge is balancing accountability with independence, ensuring reforms don't become tools for harassment. As we reflect on this decade, it's clear that India's judiciary faces a critical moment. The allegations of corruption, bias, and misconduct reveal vulnerabilities in a system we once thought unassailable. Yet, there's hope. The judiciary's leadership is beginning to acknowledge the problem. The government shows willingness to act in extreme cases, and civil society is demanding change. Implementing reforms like a robust accountability law, independent oversight, and stricter ethical norms won't be easy, but it's essential to restore trust. The judiciary's legitimacy hinges on the belief that judges are above reproach, free from influence. Every scandal chips away at that belief, but every transparent response to wrongdoing can rebuild it. As a former Supreme Court judge once said, "Sunlight is the best disinfectant." By confronting misconduct openly, India's judiciary can emerge stronger, ensuring it remains the guardian of justice and democracy for generations to come. The road ahead is tough, but the stakes couldn't be higher. Let's demand a judiciary that lives up to its promise of impartiality and integrity.